Hey folks, how's it going? Last time we very fortunately stumbled into the final star, so that made my life a lot easier. That means we have access to World B's star place, and we've done one puzzle in here to get a Grey Sigil, which we've done. And I think I've understood what the code is about. It's to get to floor 6, although there's something I need to understand from the image file names, so I'm going to go to those as well. I think we're beginning to wrap things up. We are beginning to wrap things up. Let's try this one. Merry-go-round. The previous one was very simple. Merry-go-round. Okay, well, I can do this. It's probably a decent start. There's the sigil. Red gate gives me what? Nothing. Blue there. I mean, this probably could have connected to both. Like, easily. Do I want to? Maybe I should. Bothers me that there's fly noises here. Well, I didn't see any flies. Blue gate here, red sauce. Tomato ketchup. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. And a red one there. There's the exit. It's behind a thing which probably has a switch. Laser switch. What else do we have around this way? Not a whole lot. No resources. A window. So almost certainly at some point there's going to be a thing here connected to that. Would be my guess. There's also a window there, so that could be true this way as well. Is there something I can see? No. Okay, what's my plan here? So currently, this is open. It doesn't need to be, because I can do this, and bring this through, and then do that. But what can I do with red in here? Anything? Also, it wouldn't open this, so it'd have to go this way. Is there something red I can hit? Where? Wait, isn't there a red door there? So I could just take this through. Yeah, okay. That might be what I want to do. Maybe it'll give me a resource of some sort. Nope, no resource. Just blue. Ah, there's a resource I could do with you. So let's open that. Blue. So, is it possible to bring this through? Hold on. Blue there, with only one thing, but also have access to this space. Using only this. So that would have to be held open by the jammer, right? Because we're not going to have red, we're only going to have blue. So that would have to be held open by the jammer. Then this would have to be held open by the jammer as well. Well, no, it could be by a blue, but the blue would have to hit that, and that, and that. That's not possible. I'm missing something here. I am missing something. Maybe we jam through there. However, I don't have the jammer with me. Could I have the jammer with me? Only if you could open... Where's the blue source? There. Well, obviously I can do this. That does not let me get through there, because I need red. But this has to be jammed open, so I think what I'm saying is open that now, and that at the same time. That's not doable. Or is it? That and that at the same time. Maybe that is doable. I already looked through this, could not find a spot. Where is it? It's like there. Oh, that opens that and that in theory, which is interesting. It's interesting there is a space that does that. Which opens that, but this one's not open, is my issue. What's the jammer currently doing? Holding that? Oh, you could just be holding that open. Yes, okay. Hold on. Alright, so I'll remember this for later. It's probably relevant. So you and you. Oh, I need to actually connect you. Okay, jammer, come here. Hold this open. You go down here. I don't know whether I care about opening both, but I will because it's an option. Go through, get the jammer. This should be fine. This bit, through the next bit, and we've got another resource. Cool. Now, if we get into here, that's not the whole story, is it? There's more to it. That's quite a windy path to get to you, so maybe jammer would be easier first? Although, I can do it already. Okay. Blue. With jammer or with connector? I do not know. So we've got two things. Two things to get to that. It's gonna be jammer, right? It has to be jammer. Can I hit you and... Nope. Okay. There's just no way with two things I'd get a blue to here. Like, one of them would have to be here, and then the next one would have to be here. Okay, so it's jammers coming through. The question is how, and we have an extra resource, which is this. So, well, so that could stay open by connecting to there. No, it's red. Okay, well, we can do that one as well. And then we can take red through. What did I just connect to there? Oh, fortunately nothing, but... Okay, so now that's there. Wait, and now... I'm done, aren't I? That's... easy? Let me just bring you. I think. Okay, that was surprising, but... Yay! Two things open to let me through? Sure. I'll accept. Okay, here we go. Final puzzle, maybe? Unless floor 6 has more puzzles on it, it's possible. Cat's Cradle. Okay, I'm expecting a very awkward shape of lasers all crisscrossing over each other. Like the, like Cat's Cradle, the little game? Would you call it? I guess it's a game. Yeah, it's a game. It's an activity of some sort. Holy moly, there's a lot of stuff here. Oh, and I've got a whole bunch of resources immediately. Two of those, and a cube. What are you currently... Where's that coming from? There. That does that. Okay. That closed that thing. Oh, so this is already set up in a horrendous way. So there's a blue source there, connecting to there, which I don't think I'll ever change. I don't think I'm ever going in that space, right? But then why would they not just put a... Why would they not just put a blue source there? Pretty weird, but okay. Okay. So removing this disconnects that, which is probably going to happen at some point, and it closes this because that's opening that, which is where the red source is coming from. Yep. Yep, I won't make the joke. I'm not going to make the joke. It's not a good joke. It's barely even a joke. Then here we have a button that does something. Who knows what? That's probably where the sigil is. I cannot see a sigil. Oh, yes, I can. There we go. I can just about see it. Can I see it from here? No. Okay, so we need you, and then we need something to go on the thing. We don't have any clones. We've got a blue here, which could open that. And with that we'll get what? A red, I guess. Yeah, we're going to be crisscrossing a lot. Okay. Ugh. Wait, okay, so... So that keeps that open. We've got 3 things. We've got a box. Why do I care about this blue being connected here? Because it gives me a red, which gives me access to that. But I could open this. So all this is doing is giving me the box and the lasers. So in theory I could like connect to you and connect to there, right? Like, except blue's in the way. But I could do it with this one quite easily. I think. If the angle's okay. Yeah. Okay, that's one of the 2. But the box clearly isn't going to be on there. Something else could be on there. Maybe one of the things goes on there. Should I swap them over? Then eventually this will open. And then, what do I need? I need red. Okay, but the problem is to get a different red. Like, this red cannot get to there because of the fact that blue is going across. So it has to be that red. Yeah, okay, I think I'm using this blue and that red, not these 2. And I'm just like gonna accept that these are closing off. Okay, so in fact, put you back. Put you back. Pick this up. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna connect blue, get red, use red to open this for a bit longer so I can take the box out. Yeah, that's almost certainly what I'm doing. Because it just like resolves a conflict. If I see a conflict, I'll resolve it and presumably it'll fix things. I probably need to reposition things so that this will work. Where's my 3rd connector? There. So we have a red. Okay, is there anywhere I can put this? Yes, there is. Except, of course, that happens. And that probably won't charge up long enough. Okay, how do I avoid that? By putting you on the other side of this. Oof. I'm not so sure I believe this, but okay. Maybe like... Yeah, that'll work. Maybe I do believe this. Ugh. Really? Possibly. Not quite. What if I do it like... Come on. Really? I'm not sure that could be any better. That is like... I mean, that might even clip the wall. Okay, so... Even further this way. Nope. And I have to connect to you. Oh, come on. Am I doing this wrong? Okay, maybe it's easier to get the lasers to go next to each other. No, it's not. Okay, what if I do it like... No. No. Oh, yes. Okay, that works. I don't. When I do something fiddly like that, I'm not sure I believe that I'm doing it right, but whatever. Then I'm almost certainly not caring about those lasers anymore, and I'm just doing these 2, right? That should be doable. I just have to reconnect to you. Do that. And then put red on a box. so it can go over the top. Yeah. And then... oh no. There's another step. There's another step. Okay. Did I need... I didn't need 2 blues here. No, I do, because that needs to be open still. However, maybe this can be done a simpler way now that... oh, there's a red here as well. Oh, okay, hold on, hold on. This changes things. Red's gonna open... yeah, okay. Red's gonna open that and that. Then blue can take a shot of roots. I just broke that. Okay, hold on. No. Well, at least this isn't as fiddly now. Okay, it didn't have to be as nearly as fiddly as I was making it. So that connects that. I'm gonna have to rotate some things around, aren't I? Because I can't disrupt either of these two, otherwise that closes. But I do want to bootstrap that through there. So I'm gonna have to take you. No, because you're opening that. Hold on. I want to bootstrap you to you so that that stays open. Why do I want to do that? Because I want a thing left over. But why do I care about raising them? Because otherwise they'll cross through each other. I don't think I can avoid that. Except... yes, I can? Yeah, I can. Okay, hold on. Let me think. Don't stop making this noise. Okay. This connected to here, connected to there. Then the problem is I still can't move blues because then that will turn off. So, what do I want? I want blues to go... I want a blue to go to like here, here, connect to that and that. And maybe I can set that up already? Oh yeah, sure I can. Okay, that's what I do, is change this to that, 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 and that. Right, so then when that opens, which I can do in a few ways, or in fact, I can just do I can then remove this one and not lose anything. Okay, there we go. Except now I can't move that. Okay, so let's not do that yet. Hold on. Keep that. I need to connect you to that red over there, but without the box being in the way. That should be fine, I think. Or is it? But I'm gonna end up with an extra thing anyway, like you. Yeah, okay, so I don't need the box. Box can be used for putting red up. Oof. Is that gonna work? Sure, that might work. Okay, I kept that one connected, which is good. Which one are you? Hold on. You're that. Oh, you're that one. Oh, okay. So that's not good. Yeah, definitely see why this is called Cat's Cradle. Maybe here. Will you be able to connect? Yes. All right, and you connect. Then you can be gone. All right, I can go through, put this on the thing, and I'm done. Whew. Deary me. I mean, I quite like. It's interesting because like, you know, a lot of this game is about like finding angles of lasers and such, but that, and like, it can be a little bit fiddly to like try and figure out where they go, but it feels like it's doing something that is like special to a 3D like first person game, which is like thinking about directions and angles. Like, I always enjoy it when a game uses its format to its fullest, and like, you know, so many first person puzzle games just like try and do Portal again, but this is like it's doing something else that fits well with the fact it's a first person puzzle game, which is it's about like finding these angles. Sure, there's a bit of awkwardness to it in that like calculating collisions and what's gonna work, and it probably could have been better in that regard, but at least it's doing something that works. Anyway, I've got all the things. Oh, and it's called 6 because it gets me to floor 6, or I use them all on floor 6. That could be true. Okay, hold on. Let's go check out the other. You don't beep at me again, do you? No. Let's go check out the other image file names. Oh, and also I need to know what the codes are as well. So the middle number was 8. Middle number was 8. Then we head over to A, I guess. We'll do A first. I also want to check the name of the image file to check if the N changes or not. Because it could be like another code, another 3-digit code that I'm supposed to be piecing together. Okay. A. Ow. Down we go. I'm using fast forward a lot now. Where is it? Here. Yes, Star World is the right thing. Okay. So what number do we need? 6 is the first number. 6, 8, and then what about the name of the image? But it's #6. Okay, it's just N. They're probably N. It's just number or something. It's like an extra clue. I like it when there are like multiple clues towards a kind of cryptic thing that you have to understand. All right. So 6 was the first number. 8 was the next one. I could probably just guess, but I'm gonna go and actually look at the other one. Unless it like locks you out. It probably wouldn't, but it could do. B, C. Okie dokie. Down we go. Such a long elevator, right? I swear that's longer than the others, right? That's the wooden one. Is it near the door, which I'm not going through yet? Which is clearly the normal ending. 9. 6, 8, 9. Okay. And I'm just going to double check the image, but it's almost certainly asterisk, 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 N. There we go. It is. Cool. Cool. So I'm pretty certain I'm right about what this is going to do. We are going to head up to, I guess, just like floor 1. Like, I guess I can go to any of the computers and do the floor unlocking wherever. What are we going to find on floor 6? Is there an extra ending where I realize that even the world that I'm waking up into is virtual and it's just a game called the Talos Principle, made by Croteam? I'm thinking the game doesn't do that. Feels like it's maybe a little too
denied. Query.
Meta, maybe. Okay. I guess I can just walk past it, right? I should stop fast forwarding. Where's the thing? It's there. Oh, but I need to do the puzzle again. Sure, what was the puzzle? Was it easy? It was one of these again. It was like make 2 paths, yeah. Okay. Hello. Yep. Still on device. Device manager. It's a very early version of the device manager. Although I wouldn't do version numbers like this. I mean, I just use semver for everything, semantic versioning, for which this would not be a valid version. I mean, not just because it's missing the patch number, but also because you wouldn't go to 0.1, you'd do 0.1. There are arguments for like having this because then they sort like version numbers like this, because then as long as you stay within 2 digits and they sort correctly, but like if you just sort alphanumerically, but I prefer semver. Like, so that would be 0.1 in semver. Anyway, floor access control. 6, 8, 9. 6, 8. Oh no. Oh yeah. In fact, that was the right number. Cancel. No. Ugh. I just wanted the backspace. Okay, we'll try that again. So pick floor first. Yep. So 2, then 6. 6, 8, 9. Yeah, there's no backspace. It's kind of annoying. Is there one on the keyboard? I've just noticed the keyboard is pretty odd. Yeah. It's very odd. Can I look at it from here? I mean, the letters are in the normal places. Got arrows. Got shapes on some of the keys. All the symbols on the numbers are normal. 0 doesn't have one, apparently. Oh, brackets are shifted over. Oh no, they're not normal. They're normal for the first bit. I mean, I say normal, but I mean for an English keyboard, so maybe it's normal for some other keyboard. Anyway. Go out. We've unlocked floor 6. Let's find out what happens, I guess. Floor 6. Like, I feel like I am getting to the end of this, for sure. Like, wait, why am I going down? Is floor 6 down? Whoa, that's a cool idea. It's a good way to subvert what you're expecting. Okay, hello. Hello.
My beloved child, few have given themselves so purely to my cause. Fewer still have learned so much of the mysteries of my garden.
It's an exit.
Therefore, you may choose to be elevated.
I did.
To stand by my side and become my blessed messenger in eternity. But know that this is a sacrifice that cannot be undone.
I mean, except that I can reload my previous save, right? I hope. Like, it wouldn't actually make it impossible to go back, right? Now I'm concerned. Now I'm concerned. I guess, so what I think this might be is so the people that were messengers for me, like my Steam friends, maybe I can now be a messenger for them, for others that are in my Steam friends. I think that's what it's going to be. This is a terrible idea. Okay. Should we put the square in last? What's going to do that? Nothing. Yeah, well, now we have problems. Square there. Yay! Oh, that's a cool shape I've made. Oh, it's rotationally symmetric. I'm assuming there's more solutions than that, but that's nice. So I think what it means by this can't be undone is that I am a messenger at that point. There's no way I can revert that. So I'm going to go in. Let's find out what happens.
It is now time to choose your epitaph.
It's this one.
For your body shall be entombed, though you shall not die.
Okay, so my friends also 100% did it as well. This will be your final resting place. Choose how you would be remembered by those who follow in your footsteps. What a waste of time this all was. Can I... Don't make my mistake. Epitaph means you're dead. That's quite funny. Let go of your ego and you'll perceive eternity. Epitaph? Wait, what? Wait a second. Sure, I won't be as obscure as the rest of them. Remember, everything is merely a premise in the grand equation. No, I want the silly one. Positive life surgery to come. No. I'm gonna do that one. Epitaph, wait. Wait. Epitaph? What? Wait a second. Storing final memory dump.
It is written that there is no greater love than to lay down your life for another. But your sacrifice is greater still. For instead of resting in eternity, you have chosen to serve all the generations to come. They shall strive for greatness, and through you, they shall accomplish it. For you are no longer a child. You are my messenger.
So if you do, so I don't know what the first ending does. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's my little avatar. Well, there we go. More credits. So I don't know what the first ending does, and we'll find out soon. But if I do the second ending, which is like from doing a lot of difficult stuff, I get to go and live out in the world. But if I do even more than that, find every star and get all the grey sigils, then I don't get to leave and I stay behind to help previous people. No, sorry, like following people. Like what? Why would that be the sensible way to do things? Surely the ones that have learnt but have not achieved everything would be the ones to stay behind. So I can skip if I want to. I guess I am. I've seen the credits already. Okay, so then I have to restore backup again. Wait, isn't that still... That's today. Is that now? 14:12, yeah, a few minutes ago. Okay. Okay, now I think all that's left for me to do is... Yeah, it's cool that 6 went down. Very fun idea. Is go check out the other ending. Like, obviously there are achievements. I'm not doing all the achievements. I'm happy to just do everything that feels like, you know, obtainable objective. And I have all the sigils that I know of. I should check against what the count should be. I should have just looked then. Well, I guess we'll look after the other ending. So we're just going to go see what happens for the C ending, which I could have done ages ago. I'm expecting it to be like, why did you just leave immediately, you silly person? You're supposed to stick around and do all the puzzles to make me happy. Just because I told you to leave doesn't mean you should, blah 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 blah. You are a failure. Something like that. Maybe not exactly like that. Because, like, I think having an ending where you call the player a failure is not a good idea. But something along those lines. Like, this is the gotcha ending. Do I have anything else to do? I don't think so. I think I'm done. Never found out what that infinity monkey was about. It's probably a reference to something, I don't know. Guess we're walking into the light, as we did at the beginning of the second video in my series.
Come forward, child. Eternity awaits.
Sure it does. Oh, it's the same place. It's the pearly gates. So a little look around. Whoa, what? The clouds are like billboards. By which I don't mean like actual real life billboards, I mean like billboard sprites. That looks terrible. Anyway. Type eternalized, proceed towards eternal life. Right, this is clearly not going to be real or something? I don't know. I don't know what this will do. Let's find out. You'll now be prepared for ascension into eternity. Please stand by. 3, 2, 1. Error.
Rejoice, my child, as you leave this world behind. For all that you accomplished shall be passed on to your generations. In this land they shall thrive, and you shall be remembered as the beloved servant of Elohim. And so
Independence check
shall
failed.
have no dominion over you.
Yeah.
Be well, my child. Be at peace.
So this is probably what Faith ended up doing, maybe? Yeah, so this is just me failing as an AI. Oh, you get very short credits here. Just in case people stop here, I guess. And then does it start back from the beginning? Because it said loaded. Yeah, okay, right back at the start again. I understand. Yep.
Behold, child.
Yep, okay.
You are risen from the dust, and you walk in my garden.
Yes, I have the same name, but I guess I have a different version.
My voice, and know that I am your maker, and I am called Elohim. Seek me in my temple, if you are worthy.
I'm not worthy. Okay. Stop game. I think that means I've done everything that I care about doing, at the very least. 129 sigils, let's have a look. Talos Principle. It's a bit of an odd, like, I mean, it is an odd number, but also an odd number in the other sense. Talos Principle. Total sigils? Total puzzles? Ooh. I just saw the number 130, uh-oh. What should my save file say? That says about 130, that's not good. What do you mean by about 130? Okay, total sigils. Okay, the number 129 just popped up. Why is there no clear answer to this? Basically, get all 129 sigils and post a screenshot of the earliest. Okay, so somebody's talking about doing a speed run for 129 sigils. How do you get 132? Stars count as sigils. I guess they do because you convert them, don't you? Is it 129? Why does it not just come up? Completion. Totals. I don't want the achievements. I just want to know. Okay, well, how many achievements do I have? That is in the game somewhere, right? So continue will go back to the 0, right? Let's go back to that. This says achievements here. 26. Are any of these like just get all the things? Solve every mystery in every land that you might aid those who walk in your footsteps. That seems important. Listen to all she has to say, so I've listened to all the things. I know I could like go back through all the like Athena and all that kind of stuff, all the text again, but I'm not going to. It's an exercise for the reader, or I'm not the reader. Reach the top, restore a backup version of yourself. It's not for everyone. Do not allow the serpent to fill you with doubt. Expose the flaws in the code. You might have to. That might be like something you can only do if you play again. Get everything on your own. Oh yeah, I didn't use any hints. Do as you're told for now. 49. That's like the red thing? What? Deal with the deceiver. Does it tell you any more if you click on them? No. That's what axes are for. Find messages abode. Ascension. I don't know. They're all too cryptic. Communicate with your double. Laugh at the pointlessness of existence. What's that one with the sheep? 129. Okay, let me just search 129. Ooh. 129. Why is this so hard to look up? Total sigils. Number of sigils. This is my next problem with this game. It's just like finding out if I'm done. The number 129 does keep coming up, but only from that one thread. Why is it not just like clear? And then there's like a Stack Exchange thread that comes up where somebody explains there are 99 sigil puzzles. There are 30 star puzzles. So that would be 99 plus 30, 129. Exactly 6 puzzles in the tower, exactly 3 messenger puzzles, at least 39 Easter eggs. Okay, I think I'm done. I don't know why nobody's just written down your save file will say 129, because that's what the save file says. Okay, cool. We've done it. We've done it, folks. The game is done. I know there's a DLC. Well, I didn't know before I started playing. I only found out from the comments. So Talos Principle DLC, let's look that up. To be clear, I'm looking things up on my phone. So also, there's like potentially a sequel coming soon as well. So the Talos Principle Road to Gehenna follows the narrative of Uriel, Elohim's messenger, as he explores a strange hidden part of the simulation. Okay. Now, oh, there's a bonus pack. Bonus content includes making of video. Oh, okay, that's just like random extra stuff. So I think the DLC is Road to Gehenna, whatever. Is that a long DLC, or like, how big is that? Does Principle DLC worth it? I mean, I don't think it was very expensive, was it? So apparently it's good. Do I go to it immediately? Possibly. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. And I've got a long time to decide because this video is not coming out until like more than a month after I've recorded it. So And that might be a long enough break for me to be like, oh, okay, maybe I should just go back to the Talos Principle and continue the DLC. It might also not be, so don't expect DLC necessarily. We shall see. Okie dokie. Like, there are other games coming out as well that I want to get to. Did I ever read those? I wonder if there's an achievement for reading all of the things. Sign has granted me domain over the lands I've travelled. With the sigils of power, I'll make this whole world my domain. Hey, he promised me the world as well. What a joker. I don't think time obeys too many rules here, or so many rules we can't imagine. Clearly I'm writing this message after you all wrote yours, but maybe we're all here at the same time as well. That message just materialised on the wall in front of me. Okay, yeah, who knows? We'll see. We'll see. You'll find out in 2 days what I'm playing next. So, other general thoughts? I actually really enjoyed this. I know there were parts where I was complaining a bit and a bit frustrated, but I actually really enjoyed it. It was nice to play, like I was saying this at the beginning, it's like, I play a lot of like kind of grid-based games and yeah, kind of like very systems-y games. And this is, you know, quite systems-y, but it's also very continuous. And I can jump around and jump on rocks. That has negatives. There are negative consequences to that, and like I think there is like a better version of this game where the negative consequences were thought about a bit more and they were less problematic, while still keeping the kind of freedom and continuousness of the gameplay. Like it's just kind of nice to jump around like this in a first person game, right? It's very freeing, and to like have the option of like doing that in the puzzles to try and like understand your way around. It's also fun to like, that's the thing about, you know, like top-down puzzle games where like typically the idea is that you're supposed to be able to see the whole puzzle at once, and that makes sense. That's a good design decision because it means you're not having to keep anything in your head. But it's nice to play something on occasion where you have to like sort of keep a mental model of what's going on in your head. It's just different, right? It's just makes it not a complete like pure logic thing. There's like an element of memory and spatial reasoning and stuff, but it's fun. It's its own thing. But yeah, the issues like with like there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise. There's noise in the textures, and that caused me issues with my compression, my video compression. But I don't mean that. I mean there's just details and details like that are distracting, incredibly distracting, especially when it's such a free environment where you could be doing anything. And it leads to things where there's like unintended solutions. And you know, if I look up, like I remember looking at something, I can't remember what it was, but there was somebody like left a comment about this game saying, oh, I really love Talos Principle because like there's so many ways that you can solve a puzzle. And like in like modern puzzle design, that's like such an anti like good idea. Like it's a bad idea, anti-good. But like I'm not of the opinion that like some of the ideas that there are in like modern puzzle design are absolutely true. I think you have to take them like, you know, there are upsides and downsides to different things. I think there is something nice to having puzzles that are kind of open and maybe allow alternative options. Like when I oh yeah, I mean, I'm not doing it. I'm not going back to that other puzzle that I definitely broke, but I solved it my own way. And in a sense, that's kind of fun, in a sense, right? And again, it just means it's like, it's a different kind of game than the other games. But it is in its own way fun. And to be honest, I think there's a wider audience for games that allow, you know, kind of like messing with the puzzle and finding alternative ways around it. And it's kind of, it's not inevitable, but it's quite likely to happen in a game that has, you know, it's kind of a little bit physics-based and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, something I really didn't like, and I mentioned it a lot, is the kind of uncertainty about what would work and what wouldn't work. That just permeates the whole game. Like when there's this ledge that's like a certain height, and not knowing whether I'd be able to make the jump or not, or not knowing whether I'd be able to, like, looking over a ledge, whether I'd be able to pick something up. It's just like there's clearly some like distance rules that are like, if you're this high up compared to the thing, or if you're lower than it by this much, you can't do a certain thing. Then, but like, it's kind of arbitrary and not easy to internalize at all, because it's just like a continuous distance, which is kind of problematic. And there are ways to deal with that for sure. Like, that's not an inevitable thing of like first-person puzzle game design, or even like 3D continuous space physics puzzle game design. You can deal with that stuff. You just have to like either communicate it better, or always make things obviously doable or obviously not, and never like at the like kind of intersection between those two things. That gauntlet at the end had a serious problem of making you do it over and over again. Like, cool idea, but oh no, not the best execution. And what it comes down to is like, so a gauntlet in a game makes sense when each play of the gauntlet you're like improving or doing something better, or like there's still something interesting for you to work out and get better at. But in a case like this, it's literally just repeat the thing you already know how to do to get back to the point where you have to get better. And so you're effectively, sure, you're moving about and pressing buttons and stuff, but you're effectively just waiting for a few minutes to get to the place where you can continue. And it's weird, right? Like, surely designers putting it together thought about that. Surely. but they still made it so there's like a timer and it resets you back to the beginning. Why? But maybe they didn't. Maybe they just thought, oh, it's cool for a game to have a gauntlet at the end, and the gauntlet should reset you to the beginning. They just didn't think about it enough, about whether it would be interesting for there to be a gauntlet. Like, it would still feel cool if it just reset you back to the beginning of the kind of the floor that you got to. And then there were things like I could trap the enemy character in the cage on the way up. That was seemingly pointless. And then the fact that there were some platforms that I could jump across to get to that area, and that was seemingly pointless. That's again going back to the distractions thing. Some of the puzzles, like, there are a bunch of really cool puzzles in this, and I've already mentioned the whole, like, it's neat that like this is a first-person puzzle game that's doing something that is like pretty much. It's not only applicable to first-person games. You could do a 2D game about routing lasers around on a kind of continuous space. But like, you know, the first-person thing is that you can like stand somewhere and like kind of peek along an angle and see, would that work, and make the connections. And it's doing something that feels unique to its format, or like its format allows it to specialize in, which I think is always good. That's always a promising aspect of a game. As opposed to like, I mean, and it's a different mechanic. It's not just like Portal. Like, there are so many Portal likes that come out that are just like, oh, you've got a new kind of gun and it shoots color. That's like all of them. For some reason, like the go-to mechanic is mixing colors. But this at least does something different. There were, however, mechanics that I don't think were used much, like the platform, or like weren't used well. I mean, I guess there were a couple of puzzles that were good with the platform, but it was kind of, felt kind of unnecessary to introduce it when it did, especially because it's the last mechanic and you're thinking like, oh, like last mechanic better be cool. It's the last one. But yeah, it's just not that great, and only very few puzzles even used it. But a bunch of the puzzles were well designed and really interesting, and some of them were pretty tough. Especially, I think the intro of the game is a little bit slow for my liking. Oh, in multiple ways actually, but I'll get to the other way afterwards. But like in terms of difficulty, a little bit slow. It's only once we started really hitting on the red puzzles that I felt like I was getting the most out of the game. which took a little while. Like, it was still in the first world, but maybe a bit longer than I would have hoped. Although, I guess it was fine, maybe. It's just like maybe there's other ways of teach, because like the easier puzzles exist to kind of teach you a few things, which is really good, but maybe there are ways of doing that while also having kind of yellow-red difficulty puzzles along the way. Not that they were all easy, but still. It started to get interesting once I started hitting the red ones, for sure. What else? Narrative. Okay, so the thing that... I honestly think it was the biggest thing that made me bounce off the game previously was the narrative. Like... Maybe just kind of like... I don't know. It's much easier to continue with the game when you're recording it for a YouTube channel than it is when you're playing it just like, you know, normally. No obligation to continue. But the narrative was definitely a thing that was like, like I don't want these terminals to be beeping at me the whole time and just giving me a lore dump of what's going on. And I'm still not a fan of lore dumps. Like it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's also the reason I don't read sci-fi, because a lot of sci-fi is kind of like lore dump type writing. I'm sure it's in the form of a novel, but it's and some people love that. I know, like, yeah, I know people love just like lore. I don't like lore really at all. I don't like my preferred kind of story is not one that describes a world to you and the way it works. I'm much more of a like kind of character and like human condition and drama and all that kind of stuff type of person, rather than just like let me describe a world to you. However, and this is the other part of the slowness at the start, it eventually got kind of interesting. I quite liked particularly the stuff to do with when the serpent started communicating with me, and there was this like tug of war between the serpent and Elohim. That was neat. I'm sure there's something to be gained by reading through some of the like more obscure texts that we had, like from start to finish. I'm not gonna do it. I'm also, that's another thing I'm not a huge fan of, is, and I've already mentioned this while playing, but like I kind of want text to be, you know, to communicate in a straightforward manner. I don't mean it needs to be dumbed down. I just don't like when it feels like it's over elaborate just for the sake of it. And some of the text here did feel like that. Yeah, in the same, like there are, you know, there's, I definitely compared it to poetry at some point. There's like a large segment of poetry that is like that. But then there are also segments of poetry that are not like that are much more to the point and aren't trying to like over embellish what they're trying to say, which I much prefer. So when I'm like, I don't read poetry very often, but when I do, it's that poetry that is much more appealing. Why say many words when few words do trick, right? Not exactly that, but you know what I mean. I love how I'm just hopping around these rocks over and over. But yeah, the narrative started getting more interesting. It's interesting that my interpretation of the story ended up being to reject everything. Like, I rejected both sides of what I was being communicated, which was true. Like, that was definitely the correct thing, in a sense, because like it did ultimately end up being a case of like it's not about following either one, it's about like, you know, having the independence, that independence check at the end, right? So the two sides, you know, God and the devil, have this, you know, they exist as part of a singular test, so it makes sense to reject them. However, I did that very like that was my perspective early on, and the prompts didn't allow me to convey that as my understanding. Possibly because they didn't want people to be thinking it, and so if you prompted them in such a way that, like, if you allowed prompts that kind of had that idea, then you're putting it in people's heads early, so that could make sense, but it just felt like I wasn't quite fully able to express my personal viewpoints. And therefore any kind of, because like the whole point there is like you express your view and the game adapts to what you're saying, but it never felt like that. It felt like it was just forcing me down a path that I didn't actually want to go down. But it was interesting. However, it's kind of curious that they never go to the full meta extreme that I was thinking about of, like, what if the whole point is that, in fact, all the stuff about the outside world is false as well? Like, that feels to me like the natural progression, right? And then you can do the meta thing of like, oh yeah, it's just a video game, which is maybe a bit gimmicky, but maybe you don't do that, but maybe you just, it's not about it being a video game, it's about it being a simulation, but there's nothing to do with like, oh, you're going to wake up and humanity's gone, but you get to continue humanity in the future or whatever. Like, it's just not that. There's like, this exists for a different reason. That to me would be a cool ending twist. And I kind of feel like it should have gone there, but it didn't. Maybe it does in the DLC or something, or in Talos Principle 2, if that ever comes out. But it was just weird to like kind of feel like that was a natural progression or like understanding of the story, and for it to not even go there. Ooh, there we go. But yeah, again, took a little while for the story to really kick in a way that was good. Like, okay, so I was talking about like, I like the character and the kind of human basis for stories. Well, the bits that worked best for me easily, like even more than the serpent bit, was the like, there was the message that was about like making sure you leave your doors and windows open to let the animals out. All the stuff when it started getting pretty kind of scary about the outside world and what was going on. I think it got a bit cheesy towards the end when we were listening to the audio logs going up the tower, but some of the messages on the terminals about them dealing with the end of the world, or the end of humanity, was pretty like dramatic. I quite enjoyed those bits. Like, honestly, for the one that was like about the animals, I was like pretty yeah, just pretty affected by it. Honestly. Those things can work pretty well. So it's nice that it has that. Like, you could easily do a sci-fi kind of story and never do that, and that would just be really boring for me personally. It's like the same reason I also don't read much fantasy. Fantasy's similar. Like sci-fi and fantasy, to be honest, I kind of think of as basically the same genre. Like sci-fi is just a kind of fantasy, right? It's just fantasy, but the fantasy is the future, or like a scientific alternative world. And so I have the same kind of issues with fantasy writing, and so I don't tend to read it. Anyway, but yeah, it's nice that it had that human emotional part to it, which is what I prefer. And so because that was there, that allowed me to care about the narrative a little bit more, even though I was rejecting that the human side of things was even necessarily true. Whatever, it still worked. There we go. Let's try and wrap things up. I think that's like most of my thoughts. It's a pretty long game. Oh, I wanted to mention that some of the puzzles felt a little bit repetitive at times. I think it could have been stripped down in a few places. It wasn't too long though. Like, it was a decent length. Like, it's like on the longer end of what I think is acceptable. Do I think that? Yeah, I think so. For like a puzzle game, for sure. In fact, how long was it? Maybe I should go back out to the menu. Okay, well, I'm going to lose all that jumping around I just did. So how long did I play for? 25 hours? Okay, no, that's fine. That's not particularly long. I think like maybe up to 40 hours is like kind of where it starts to feel like, oh, okay, maybe this game is going on a bit too much. For me, personally. Anyway. Oh, I guess there's a DLC, so it does continue. Yeah, but I like it could have been a little bit shorter if they just cut out some of the puzzles that felt a little bit repetitive. Like there were definitely a few that felt like I was just doing something that I'd done in the previous puzzle again, and then they didn't really stand out in any way. I can't believe that there was that really crazy puzzle that... What was it? It was in one of the grey sigil things where like I had to do a really long recording and do lots of steps as part of it. That was a very cool puzzle. Super difficult though, but really interesting. So that stands out as like quite a unique one. Anyway, let's wrap up. That was that. That's my thoughts. Cool game. I will definitely play the DLC, and I'll play the sequel whenever that's out. Well, I mean, at some point after it's out. I can't guarantee I'll get to games quickly. There are a lot of games to play, but it's nice to have this one crossed off the list. It's like been on there for a long time, and I knew I had to get to it at some point because it's a classic. Basically, it's like kind of... It's one of the kind of like genre-defining kind of, is it? Maybe. I guess Portal's like the big one. There's no such thing as a genre-defining game. They all just like build on each other and just explore in different directions and so on. Okay, cool. I shall see you next time for something. No guarantees about what it will be, because it's currently more than a month away from me. So, I think. So we'll find out then. I'll find out at the same time you find out. Alright, thanks for watching, folks. That was a fun play. I very much enjoyed it overall. Even though it had some like 10-year-old game issues. But yeah, that's to be expected, I think. So I had a good time. See you all next time. Goodbye.